It's time for another board game review, and this time we have the game OKEY DOKEY. OKEY DOKEY! Can't resist saying it like that. But OKEY DOKEY, this is designed by Hisashi Hayashi, and this was sent to me by Tasty Minstrel Games. So this is a cooperative game. It's a pretty simple game. Simple to learn, but kind of tricky to win. The animals have gathered to organize a spectacular music festival. Vocalists, horn players, bassists, drummers, and pianists from all over the land come together to play their part in this special event. Many animals have gathered, and each musician has their part to play in creating a successful music festival. That's what it says, but really this theme could just as easily not exist. Like, it doesn't really go with the game at all. Like, but let me show you kind of how it's played. So in OKEY DOKEY you have these numbered cards. They have different colors and numbers, like blue and so on, and they all have different animals. The animals don't really mean anything. It's really just the number and the color are what's important. So you have those colored cards, and your goal is to one by one play these cards in this grid, and you're trying to play all 50 cards so that the final product looks like this. Now, there are some rules as to how that grid has to look. Depending on the difficulty of your game, you have some chameleon cards. These are equal cards. I'll explain these in a second. If you're a maestro level difficulty, you can choose to not use these. And then these cards here are called reset cards. Everyone gets a certain number of cards. For 3 players, you get 6 each. So all you do is look at these 5 rows, and each person puts down a card. Okay, or they can play a reset card. That sounds very simple, which it is easy to learn how to play, but there are very specific rules as to how this grid must look. So first of all, every row, all 5 rows need to have the same color suit. There's red, orange, green, blue, and purple. And so if I play a purple card in this row, every card in that row has to be purple. Also, you can only play cards in a single column at a time. Let's say we have this, and this. So as you can see here, there are 4 rows with cards in them already. I cannot add cards to these rows until this column is entirely completed. Now, the card value is also important. So whatever cards you play in your rows, let's say we had this setup. If I want to play a card now, whatever card I place in a row has to be bigger than the number before it. So here I would only be able to play cards that are blue and more than 5. Here I'd be only play orange cards bigger than 1, and so on. And that's when the reset cards come into play. If I want to reset this row, let's say 5 is too big for me, I can play a reset card from here, and now the whole row is set to 0, so cards after this can be bigger than 0. However, there are only 2 reset cards per row, and there's a rule that each column has to have at least 1 0 reset panda card. There's a lot of things to this game to make it very tricky. You have to have all the colors in the same rows, you have to have only 1 column at a time, you have to play a reset card in each column, and every number needs to be bigger than the number before it. And that's why you have these equal cards that make the game easier. So if I put this equals card, let's say here, then this is now equal to a 5. So it kind of helps you if you are in a tight spot. And that's the game. Each time you play one of these number cards, you draw a new card from the deck, and each time you play a reset card, you can choose up to 2 cards in your hand to discard and draw cards from the deck. Playing the game itself is not hard. It's about really trying to work together to make sure you don't end up screwing yourselves. Because if you ever are in a position where someone cannot play a card, then it's game over. Like if you end up like this and the next player doesn't have a red card and you run out of resets or something, you're done. If you ever have to do 2 resets in a column, you're done. There's just so many ways that your team can just crash and burn. So the final victory should look like this. Look at those nice colored rows. There's a reset in every column, just 1 reset per each. And all the numbers are going from lowest to highest except the resets. It's a very satisfying image, and that's how you win. So do I like the game? It's pretty alright. The art is cute, it's serviceable, it's a cute cover, you know, the cards are kind of cute, but honestly, like I said before, animals mean absolutely nothing. Like, it's a number color game. Like, I honestly, you know, the art is cute, so like I use a little cat and stuff, but I just forgot it was an animal game. You don't think about that at all while you're playing it. You're just looking at numbers and colors, which is not a bad thing, but it kind of makes the whole package seem a little like you see the cover and you're like, it's gonna be a fun music animal game, but it's not. It's laying down numbers and cards. I like that it's very easy to learn. Like, once you read the rules like really quick, bam, you're ready to play, and the game is very fast because either you die, which we did I think first time, or you just it's not hard to play at all. Play a card or play a reset card. If you can't, you're done. So it moves really quick. There are rules about player discussion, and I get limiting discussion can make it so it's not too easy, or it's not just like kind of like one person is deciding everything. So the rules are, you may not show your hand to another player. That's fair. You may not say or give hints about the values of the cards in your hand. I get not saying the exact numbers. I think that makes sense. Because the other rules say you may reveal how many cards you have of a suit. You may suggest a suit you would like to play. You may say you would like to play a reset card for a particular suit. And yeah, we did that. And I understand not saying the exact number, but at a certain point, if there's like a 7 there and it's like, hey guys, I have a good card I can play. I want to play that suit. You're like, gosh, do you think he has an 8? I don't know, maybe. Sometimes when they try to manage the player discussion a little too much, it just seems like you're trying to make it more difficult than it really logically needs to be. It's already not easy making this perfect grid, so having these little silly rules like you can't say this. Again, I get that I get showing your hand, not showing your hand, and not saying the numbers. That makes sense to me, because otherwise it just becomes almost like an open-faced game, like everyone just looks at everybody's cards. I understand that, but trying to like micromanage how we discuss the game, I mean, it's a co-op game. Just let us talk. When you do complete the puzzle, it is satisfying. We, I think, lost the first time, and we were like, okay, well, we know how to do it better this time, and then we did it, and it was good. It was, you know, it was pretty fun, and the difficulty levels kind of give you more incentive. Like, maybe next time I can take away some of the wild cards or equal cards to try again and maybe do harder difficulty levels. But would I want to play this all the time? Probably not. I mean, it is short, so I can see myself playing it again. At the same time, though, I feel like once you've completed the puzzle like 2 or 3 times, it probably is like, alright, we did it. I don't know. I feel like it might lose its appeal as time goes on. The first time we did it, I was like, yeah, that was fun. But after that, I was like, I don't need to play this again for a while. Like, I kind of got what it's like completing a jigsaw puzzle. It's not like you have the urge to take it apart and do it again. And that's kind of what this game feels like. It feels like kind of like a fun little clever puzzle that I don't see myself like dying to play, but doing it the first time was pretty fun. So I would say it's worth playing. It's simple to learn, it's short, satisfying to solve. It's just a cute little puzzle game, so I would recommend it. But just know that it is short, and kind of like once you've done it, there's not that much more to it other than just doing the puzzle again. But it's a nice little co-op game. It's pretty alright.